Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Bakes here with day number 27 on my 31 Days of Horror. Today's movie is a classic sci-fi horror film that is very iconic and very beloved. It's had like so many remakes and readaptations, but we're talking about the original today. It's also just one of those movies where the story is so iconic and creepy, and it always keeps everyone enthralled. I reckon this could be one of the movies that has been ripped off the most. You know, so many movies that are like this, but not part of the franchise, I guess. But I'm just rambling now. Today's movie is the original classic Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1956. I actually can't off the top of my head. I just thought about it while I was speaking then. I don't even know how many times this movie's been remade, but let alone ripped off and everything. Like, it's just one of those stories that everyone knows. But as usual, I'll start off with the plot anyway, just to remind you, or for those who haven't seen it, can get a gist of what's going on here. So in this movie, our lead character is this doctor who is the doctor for this small town, but he's been out of town for a while. But at the start of this movie, he's been called back and he's rushed in because his assistant's been saying, like, everyone's been trying to book in appointments with you, and you need to get back. There's just too many people asking for you. And he arrives back in town and nobody wants to see him anymore. Like, nobody is rushing in to have an appointment or checkups or anything. So he's just kind of like, that's weird. However, something weirder is going on because there seems to be a lot of people with delusions and paranoia. There's people talking to him saying, like, my family member or my friends or whatever aren't actually who they are. And he's doing these checkups and he's checking out these people, and he's like, no, they look the same, they seem to be acting the same, but this group of people are so hesitant that these people aren't actually who they are. And without going into spoilers, I'm sure you can sort of see the direction of where it's going anyway. After a bit of investigating, everything in this small town isn't quite what it seems. That's pretty much the plot and the gist of this movie. The first half of this movie I'm fucking with so heavy. I really love the first half of this movie. It's so fucking cool. The thing that I love about it most, or sort of the two things that I love about it most, is one, the small town feel. Everyone sort of knows each other, and it's just like this quiet, out in the middle of like nowhere kind of town. It gives that sort of vibe. I'm just really digging the setting and the feel of that town. But then also like the conspiracy mystery feel of what's going on. Like I said, he comes into town and he's expected to be rushed by like all these people who have been trying to see him while he's been away, but then no one really wants to see him. But like the first lot of people that do start speaking to him, like they're saying like, like this one lady, for example, she's like on the verge of tears and breaking down. She's like, this is not my uncle. And he goes and checks out the uncle, and he's like, no, that's your uncle, he's normal, he seems fine. And she's so persistent on saying like, this is not my uncle. And then you've got like this small boy who like skipped out on school, and he runs into the office and he's like begging to not be sent home to his mum, because he's claiming his mum isn't his mum. And as I said, the conspiracy and mystery feel is so cool, but honestly, it's also like really fucking creepy. I'm like, okay, this is like something I'm fucking with majorly. I actually kind of wish the conspiracy and mystery grew for a little while longer in the runtime and didn't move on so quick, because this mystery and conspiracy element of where all the characters are kind of in the dark still probably goes to roughly the 20-25 minute mark of this movie, and then you sort of get your first taste of what's going on and the characters are piecing it together. And I just kind of wish they held back, with the mystery a little bit longer and just built up the conspiracy a little bit more. But then there's like this weird middle patch, and it kind of is where the characters are now aware of kind of the gist of what's going on, and you get your sort of first reveal. And after that happens, nothing story-wise is really pushed forward for a while. Like, once they get the reveal, and the reveal is kind of cool, and I'm still fucking with it and whatever, but then there's like this big chunk where it's just our main character and a bunch of others sort of just evading capture from these, I'm gonna have to spoil it, but like these body snatchers, And I'm just like fucking with the first half so much. Like, this movie to me is a movie of two halves, where the first half, like if it kept the feel and the vibe and the mystery of the first half building the whole way through, like this would be such a high rating for this movie. I'm just really not loving the second half. Like, as I said, I just wish they built the mystery a little bit longer. As I said, I don't mind the reveal. I think the first reveal and where they get the gist of what's going on happens too early. I wish they pushed it back a little bit. But either way, I'm still fucking with that. But then, like I said, the back half of the movie is just them evading and, going from place A and then sort of getting snuck up on and then going to place B. I'm not really digging the second half, and to me that's sort of frustrating. I really love the ending, however, and I mean like the literal last 5 minutes of this movie. It's very fucking awesome, very iconic. I should have probably explained in the plot, actually. So the movie opens with the doctor arriving at the next town over, recounting what's happened in his town, and the whole movie is pretty much a flashback of him reciting the story of him coming back to town and filling in the gaps and whatever. And normally I don't like that because, with an intro showing you what happens, further in the story, it takes away a lot of the mystery. You're like, okay, obviously this character got out safe and whatever, but it's done really, really well in this one because, you've got the body swapping element. You don't even know if he's who he says he is or if he's talking shit. It does a really, really good job at that in the last 5 minutes of the movie. But like I said, to me, this is just a movie of two halves. I really wish the second half was as strong as what the first half is to me, but still a really cool movie. Just not one that, unfortunately, I wish I could hype up this movie a little bit more. It's just the second half that really digs it down for me. So, Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1956, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Like, I'm really fucking with the first half, but like I said, it's a movie of two halves for me. But let me know your thoughts on the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Let me know your favourite remake or version of it, or even your favourite rip-off, other adaptation of that story, or whatever you want to call it. And thank you for joining me for day number 27, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for day number 28. We're almost at day number 31. We've done really well getting through this 31 days, and hopefully you guys are still enjoying it. Thanks for joining me, guys. Peace.